To bounce back from the way you losing the Florida series last week and then to sweep a team as talented as LSU, I wonder how good you guys feel about how this weekend went.
I'll take it. I thought it was really good to see our bullpen going like that. Zack threw a great game today, and our starting pitching has been unreal this weekend and the whole season. But I just saw just a lot of fight from our offense, and I just thought it was a really good weekend overall.
Robert, can you tell us a little bit about the homework assignment that you had on Thursday?
Test got moved to Wednesday, so I got an extension till Tuesday, but it's a finance class.
Did you get it done?
Yep.
Congratulations.
I don't know if it's done well, but it's done.
There you go.
I guess it's for Ray and Robert. What do you see from Jackson? Because a lot of traffic those first few innings. I think LSU left 9 guys on through 5 innings, and they could have, been leading 5-0, 6-0, but it was 1-0. Just what do you think about the way Jackson, pitched a lot of stressful pitches, but he got out of a lot of jams.
I always think Jackson gets better as the game goes on. He lands more breaking balls and changes for strikes, and when he does that, here comes 98, so it's kind of hard to hit. But I don't know. Sometimes it just takes him a little while to get in a rhythm, but when he does, it's pretty good. And I think he just out talents some hitters sometimes, so that's why it looks like he might not be in command of the game. But then here he goes, gets a couple quick outs. So I think he just over talents some guys sometimes.
It's an LSU, Arkansas. That's really lopsided series, but you got way before you guys got here. But what do you think about Arkansas 7? I think you're 7-2 against them since you got here. What do you think about that? And it hadn't swept them since 2011.
I mean, they always have a good team, and if you look at their lineup this year, they got a bunch of guys who are going to play in the big leagues. But we have a better team, so it was that way last year. It was this way this year.
Zack, your numbers are good for the whole year, but it seems like your last 2 outings, you've been a little bit more sharp, a little bit more velocity and everything. Just did something change for you in the last week or so, or did you just kind of getting your feet wet and kind of getting comfortable on the mound?
Honestly, nothing really changed. I mean, my work habits, just everything in the weight room, and when I go do my pitching stuff, just all the same. And so just learning from every outing that I had from the past, and then taking it to last Tuesday whenever I threw, and then today, I mean, it's just the same, honestly.
And for Cayden and Robert, it seems like there were a lot of line outs or deep fly outs this series. Just kind of what are the conversations like with the hitters? Were y'all kind of frustrated by that, or just trying to stick with the approach? And obviously it worked out pretty well into the weekend.
I thought overall we hit a lot of baseballs hard, hit a lot of balls to the track, and it's just part of it. Just with how our wind is, we hit a lot of balls to the track, and I think it's easy to get frustrated on it, but we know at some point they're going to fall, and just to keep doing it. The approaches are good, and just you can't argue with squared up baseballs.
I mean, today was game 35, where it's been like that for 35 games, so you can't complain.
Hey, Zack, I wonder if you could speak for the pitching staff. LSU was averaging 8 runs a game coming in, and you held them to 6 for the series. Just how much of a source of pride is that to hold down an offense as good as they are for 3 games like you did?
Like you said, they're a good offense. I mean, with our pitching staff, if you just go in there at the stuff and you're confident, just like pretty much all of our pitchers was, I mean, we can take down any team. But I mean, it's just a source of confidence, and just holding those guys, the LSU offense, to however many runs you said. I mean, yeah, it's very prideful.
Dave was talking about the Tuesday games against UAPB and just how much confidence you guys had coming out of that. Just can you kind of maybe take us through what that was like Tuesday and maybe what the mentality was for the staff coming in this series?
I mean, it's just attack. Literally, it's as plain and simple as it gets. Just going out there and attack when your name's called. Go out there and prove that you deserve a spot and be able to play more.
Okay. This is maybe for Cayden and Robert. Well, Cayden, first off, I was curious what you saw from Jackson from your perspective on the infield.
I saw a lot of fight. They had a few hits off him, but there was only maybe 1 or 2 that were barrels. But I just saw a lot of fight from him. He pounded the zone for the most part, and did his thing, just kind of overpowered him. He's really just everything he throws just looks effortless, and so it's a tough battle in the box when you're facing him. So we're just proud of him.
Did you guys have a good feeling in the dugout, like, hey, they could have scored a lot more runs. They're only up 1-0. We're going to get them. Or was there any sense of that in the dugout?
No. We trust our pitching staff, and we know our defense is going to do the job, and we know that we're going to score runs. We just knew that Jackson was going to give us his best, and we were going to score runs.
And maybe for both you and Robert, did you admit, I think it's the 4th straight Tuesday, you're going to play an in-state team. And, it's a really big deal to them. I don't know, maybe it's just another non-conference game to you guys. How do you guys approach these in-state teams? And I know you guys weren't here, but the first time, Dave pushed for it, and then UALR came in and won 17-7. Everybody saying, well, that's why they don't play. That's why Arkansas don't play these guys. But Arkansas hadn't lost to an in-state team since then. Just how do y'all approach the in-state games?
I think it's really exciting to play in-state teams, especially being from the state. I've been to all the games, growing up. I've been to each campus, and I think it's just important for the state, and it's good competition, and they're good teams. So I think it's a lot of fun, and it's more just for the crowd comes, and everybody's from in-state, and I enjoy it more than anything.
Did you ever be in that 17-7 game by any chance?
I was not there. no.
Okay, that was pretty good. And Robert, you as an out-of-state guy, you got any thoughts on that?
So I'm different from Cayden. I never knew that was kind of a big deal for out-of-state teams to come play here because I'm from Kansas. But I just know from being in the games, you definitely have to come to play to win and win your at bats and make plays in the field and not give them anything because they're definitely competitive. And I don't want to say it's the reality is the game we won today is worth the same as the game on Tuesday and Wednesday. So they're all worth one.
Any of you guys are in first place in the SEC West, halfway through the conference slate. Just how do you guys feel right now?
You start and we'll go
Yeah,
this way.
let's go this one. We really don't pay attention to it. We just go out there and play. But winning every game, it's you got a chance to compete for that title, but we just go out there and try to win every single game. We really don't pay attention to that noise.
It's been a lot harder than it looks to win as much as we did in the West last year and this year. But I think we're it's easy to say you're confident after sweeping LSU, but we're pretty confident. And I think we're going to go in the tournament and shake a lot of heads too with a team that's at the top with the East.
I definitely agree with that. Every team from the bottom to the top of the league can beat anybody. And, just every game counts as one. And that's all. When we go in, we just want to win one at a time. So, I think it's definitely good, and it brings us a lot of confidence.
Zach, do you have any idea of how many pitches you threw in the bullpen? Because I think you were up for a better part of 4 or 5 innings.
No number, but it's a lot.
Did you feel like maybe having a high number of pitches that you're able to throw helped you once you got into the game?
I feel so. Every time I throw, I see what my stuff's doing, and I'm like, okay, let's work on that. And every time I keep throwing, regardless of what inning it was, I was like, okay, it's still a better one. And so as I kept doing that, then eventually I got to where I wanted to do, got the pitches to what I wanted it to do. And so I just took that to the field.
Everyone wants to answer it. You guys came out and formed a handshake line for Dick Hughes after he threw that first pitch. I just wonder, what was that conversation like? What was it like getting to meet him today and someone who had the type of success that he did?
I think every player, their goal is to eventually play in the big leagues and then have success in the big leagues. And in order to see that firsthand, and then he stood in the same steps you did, it was just cool to see. It was cool to see whatever stage of life people are in. But yeah.
Robert, we didn't get you after the play in short right field. I wonder how you rate that in your catalog of great plays, and when you're throwing, what do you're doing a 360. What are you aiming at?
Truthfully, like that play I made on Friday, it's not as difficult as it looks. The only way it's difficult is if the shortstop does it up the middle, because then the throw's a lot longer. What you look at, you just like, the way I think about it is, you ever play that game as a kid where you like blindfold your eyes, you have to stick the nose on the Santa Claus or something. You know what I mean? You just, but you have like a picture in your head. Yeah. So that's honestly, you just have a picture in your head and you just spin and throw. The play I thought today where I had to throw to second, I thought that one was harder because you don't really practice going that way very often.
What's it like throwing to Turner? What kind of job do you think he's doing as a catcher? And Robert, maybe you could say, what do you think? I mean, you came in as a new guy, got to play right away as a freshman. That doesn't happen a lot. Turner's obviously older, but how do you think he's fit in with the team?
It's nice throwing to him. I mean, you kind of have the same confidence as you do when Opitz was there. I mean, you're not scared to throw a ball in the dirt and thinking he's not gonna block it because he's going to go behind the plate. He's gonna work and he does a great job receiving. So whenever you throw a 50-50 ball and he's gonna stick it. And most of the time it's gonna go your way because he's that good behind the plate.
Yeah, I think he came in and fit right away. He came in the first day and I remember him crushing baseballs. I was like, oh, that's good to see. 'Cause I didn't know who he was or anything. And, he just fit right in, came in, took the catcher spot and, he just ran with it. And I think he's a really good catcher and a really good hitter. And he's really gelled with our team and he came in and just fit right in immediately. So it's very good to have him.
There's big shoes to fill with Opitz leaving, but tea time fills them. Yeah, tea time.
Good stuff, guys. Appreciate it.